Hello there, Ray here, and Mojang just ruined my goal of farming every item in the game of Minecraft. That's because it just dropped us a brand new music disc into the game. It has some really cool tunes on it, and it was composed by...
Lena Rain.
this person. But just AFKing above my creeper farm, where creepers are running away from these cats, and down into this tube where they go into my music disc farm. But you cannot get the disc this way. But instead they are rarely found inside of Stronghold's corridor chest, and also very rarely found inside of dungeon chest. I may not be able to farm it in large amounts, but I might be able to automatically sort it from my other music discs. And since they don't stack with other discs of their own kind, we can't use stacking like we do in other item sorters. All music discs can go inside of the jukebox, unlike other items, and all 14 discs produce a unique redstone signal when they are inside of a jukebox with a comparator reading it. So no matter which disc we put into the system, we should be able to tell which one it is. But unfortunately, there's no way for us to use dispensers to get these inside. We could wait for the new allay mob to sort them, but with 14 different types, you need 14 different allays for each disc, or be constantly swapping out a sorting item. So we'll have the player place in the music disc, and then the machine will automatically sort them. So when the disc goes in and then back out again, we want it to stay inside of a contained area. With redstone signals going from 0 all the way to 15, that means there's only a total of 15 different discs that can be detected. With the newest disc being number 14, that means they can only add in one more disc while it's still being detectable. Now we put in 15 hoppers and chests for each of the possible different discs. So after the disc pops out, we'll then have a hopper minecart pick it up, and then from there we'll have a button, then we'll send it out over top of the hoppers so it drops it into the different chest. But currently there's no brains in the system, so it's just going into the very first one. So we want to read what's inside the jukebox, and we'll do this with a comparator, and then the comparator is going to have a redstone line representing what type of disc it is. And we'll use these different strengths to lock different types of hoppers, and each hopper will represent a different type of disc. So now when we send the cart is only going to drop it off at the very first hopper that's not locked. In this case, it is this one right here. So far, so good. We go ahead and give this a practice by putting a disc in it and then releasing it. As soon as the disc leaves the jukebox, the entire system unpowers, so we'll once again end up dropping the disc at the very first slot. So all we need is a memory circuit which will remember what type of signal strength is in the system. And by hooking these two pieces together, even when the disc is no longer there, it will remember exactly what it was. So now when we send the cart, it's going to drop it off in the appropriate one. But now the problem is that the system that remembers the signal never forgets it, so it never changes even if there is no disc inside. We can clear the memory cell by putting a power in from the side, and that will erase it all. So we'll then hook up this reset system, making it go back towards the button, and we'll add some delay in so that it won't reset until the minecart gets to the far end. We need to make sure this is in subtraction mode and this is on full delay. Let's go ahead and try it. Disc goes in, disc goes out, we power it, goes to the far end, and then it releases. So you might think that we were actually done, but you know me, I'd like to have things as automated as possible. So that means no button pushing. Instead, we're going to have it so that as soon as the disc leaves the jukebox, the system will automatically know that and send the minecart. So to send the minecart automatically after the item leaves, we're just going to read the disc leaving, then we're going to have this piston hold down an observer, which is going to go into a repeater, which is enough to send it off. Let's go ahead and give it a try. If we put a disc in, it goes up, and then when the disc leaves, it will send it off. So now we don't need any of these buttons. But we can automate the process even further by having a dropper give us more disc every time the system is reset. So let's give it a try. We place a disc in, and then we let it go. It goes away and it gives us another disc. Problem is, if we hold down right click, the system can't react fast enough. So we're going to have to put in a system to prevent the player from right clicking 2 times really fast. So we'll have a clock attached to this trapdoor to flick it on and off. Flick it pretty fast, so we're going to use an observer to do that. Then right behind it, we're going to have a comparator clock that is started from a power source that is right here. And that's going to go into a comparator, from there into a block, then into a full repeater, and then to another block, and then dust, and then back into a repeater on 2 ticks. And then we turn this into subtraction mode, and this is the on and off switch right here. We do need to make sure that this block here is a slab, so it doesn't power the rails right beside it. So if we turn this on and we right click right as the trapdoor is about to go up, then we can place the disc in and send it off. Problem is, now you can see that we're constantly placing disc in even though the hopper minecart isn't here. We can either slow down the system or we can just put in a second minecart. So by putting a second rail system on top of this, we can have it so that the minecarts will not intersect or bump each other. And if we update this rail, it'll go upwards. And then we can have one minecart go up on the top side and the other one go on the bottom side. And we don't want them to stick to each other, so we're going to place them in at different locations. So one will sit up here most of the time and one will sit down below. And that way we can run the farm twice as fast. So now all we need to do is put in some redstone to tell that trapdoor when to open up. We'll just hook it on to this piece here, and that should be perfectly timed. Now let's give it a try. Hold down right click, send that minecart off, and that one goes, and then we get a new one, and that one's going to replace it. So now it's constantly having the disc be sorted. So now we can go to our music disc farm and put in a sorter to remove all the gunpowder that comes off of the creepers. Now we can hook the disc sorter directly up to the creeper farm while going over top of our gunpowder sorter. We'll throw some composters on top to reduce hopper searching and put in some barrels to cheapen it up. Now with the sorter stocked, we are ready to use it. The ultimate test, I got a chest full of random discs, and let's see how well it works at sorting them all out. So we could sit here and hold right click, but to make it the ultimate AFK setup, we want to have it run even when the player's not at the window. We could do this by making the game think that the right click button is always held down even when it's not. And we do this by first getting the system to work, and once it works, and I have the right click button held down, then press F3 and T, and then release both those buttons as well as the right click button. Now the player will constantly be right clicking without me touching any keys on my mouse or keyboard. Now we can do Alt Tab to even leave this window and work on some other stuff. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you're subscribed and let me know in the comments if you are part of the 20% who are. And remember, YouTube gives me the special ability to see who is and isn't. We used up all the music discs. Let's go ahead and check out all of our chests. Looks like I did a perfect job. Amazing. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed, and check out this playlist to see how I designed a simple farm for almost every item in the game of Minecraft. And check out this playlist to see weird glitches I come across while designing. Thank you guys so much for all the support on my Farm Everything series. I really had a lot of fun making this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!